Hello, everyone. In this episode, we'll introduce the Natural Language Processing Hub, or Hugging Face, and a collection of libraries which makes natural language processing tasks easy, and we'll give a brief introduction for it. So let's go to program. We'll call that. Okay, so it's a Python library for natural language processing that makes many tasks that we saw in earlier episodes on natural language processing where we programmed ourselves, makes it rather easy. And the first thing we do is try to load the collab with the TensorFlow version you want. So there are many examples, but before we do this, we need to first install the Hugging Face library, which you can just do here, the transformers install through the pip. Okay. So now that's done. So let's see the first example, sentiment analysis. Sometimes we have a text and then want to see whether it's positive or negative tone, right? Something like that. And Hugging Face basically already have done it. They trained it already from for you. So here we'll just give an example of 10K filing, a corporate document for financial data. You can go to this link and see what that is if you're curious. So Delta SEC puts up all the filings, and here's the fiscal year in 2020 version of it, filed in 2021. I'll just look at the management discussion part of it. It's about the impact of COVID-19, which probably is not going to be a positive thing, but here, the unprecedented, widespread, persistent impact of COVID-19, blah, 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 have significantly reduced demand for air travel, and so forth, so a whole bunch of reason why COVID wasn't great for Delta. So let's get the text just in a string. If you print it, the text here, text one is here. So how does Hugging Face work? Hugging Face works through what we call a pipeline. And there are a couple of pipelines, each have a task. For our case, we want text classification. So we have Panda and Transformers pipeline, and a pipeline among those, we want the text classification. So that, and we name it classifier. So we can call this classifier for that. Right, so it uploads the text classification training network that somebody has done it for you. All right, so now the classifier and put the text one, the COVID document from Delta, and call it output. You can view it through Panda data frame output, the results. What it says is that our 99.5%, it's a negative tone. So this is how you do it. You have a text, and the classifier will tell you whether it's a positive or negative tone. That's one use of doing using Hugging Face. Another one is tagging, which the Hugging Face will basically recognize location, organization, person, like they tag a whole bunch of things. Here's yet another document, DF14A, that's the annual shareholder meeting document. And you can go here, the person profile and such. I downloaded somewhere down here, there's a Vita for the CEO because they elected directors. I don't know where it is, but you can, yeah, so somewhere here, I think this person, Mr. Bastian, has been a CEO of Delta since May 2016 and so forth. I copied this into my Hugging Face. So let's call this text2, and then there's a pipeline, NER, and again, name entity recognizer. So we'll just load this pipeline and call it tagger. It takes a few seconds to load the tagger. So now in our tagger, we have the name entity recognizer. So let's put the text2 in the tagger and call it output. And again, with that Panda data frame, you can look at the output, which of the text2, how it recognizes. Bastian is a name, it's a person. Delta is an organization. And Acuity Brands is an organization. So it seems to do a good job, isn't it? So this is how it recognizes entity and names. And if there are country names, it will have it as some location, something like that. Another use of Hugging Face is question answering. So here's the reader question answering pipeline. And my question will be, what reduced the demand for air travel? And then I'll give a text for it. So this is my question. And I'm calling this question answering pipeline. And for this example, I'll pose what reduced the demand for air travel. And the text we give is the text one, the one that we gave about the COVID-19 statement. Okay. That was hard for Delta. And what reduced the demand was COVID-19. Okay, so they get their answer. There are more advanced features like language, the typo. So the translation from English to German. I'll give you, I put the DF14A, the profile of the CEO, text2, and put in the translator, and then let's see how it does. Will it translate in German? So Herr Bastian is my 2016 Chief Executive Officer von Delta. So I guess I'm not an expert in German, but it sounds like German to me. All right. So this is how you can translate. And you can, of course, do other languages. And the summarization. So here is a long text from Delta, again, taken on the unprecedented widespread persistent impact of COVID-19. And it's a whole long document that from 10K, what caused the air travel restrictions and reduced all the text. So we'll have a summarizer. So can we summarize it in a short way? That's a fairly long document. And can we summarize it in a short text? So it calls the Hugging Face pipeline, and in particular, the summarization, and we name it a summarizer and that network. Again, a few seconds. Okay. Almost there. Okay. So let's call the summarizer and have the text 5, that's finished, and then maximum length of 60 words. Can you print it out? The summary. Let's see whether it does the job. Yes, first we can see how long the document was. It was fairly long document, isn't it? Ooh. Yep. And now the summary is basically the unprecedented, widespread, persistent impact of COVID-19 and the related air travel restrictions, social distancing in Minnesota have significantly reduced the air travel. As a result, the travel is at rapid pace and blah, 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 depressed. So it kind of summarized in a rather short way. The last example will be text generation. So it generates text based on original text. Okay, so it's called generator, a text generation, called a generator. And, okay. And then, so the original text of text one, the COVID-19 statement by Delta, that the COVID-19 reduced the, all the kind of things. So now we generate the text, which let's see how well it does. The original text was because of COVID-19 and the lockdown, it reduced the air travel, which was bad for the business, is basically what they said. And then here are, well, the generated text, that significant difficulties with our internal data exchange system, and so it generated many creative text here. So this concludes the introduction of Hugging Face. As you can see, it can do many things that are related to natural language processing tasks. Thank you for watching this video.